Why does a tiny hamster seem to come alive only when the room finally grows soft and quiet? Evening is when a hamster's world opens, because dimmer light tells its body that safer hours have begun. What looks like sudden energy is usually careful timing, shaped by instincts built for avoiding daytime danger. In this gentle nighttime routine, 3 habits reveal how a hamster prepares, gathers, and secures its little world. Our hamster is a small golden Syrian with sandy fur, a white belly, black eyes, and quick whiskers. Its rounded body, short ears, pink nose, and light, darting steps stay visually consistent through every scene. The setting also remains constant: a cozy indoor habitat with paper bedding, a cork tunnel, wheel, bowl, and water. Warm amber lamplight washes the enclosure, while the bedroom around it stays quiet, still, and softly out of focus. From this calm corner, the hamster begins each evening with a habit that looks simple but matters deeply. Before searching, running, or storing anything, it must first wake its body and senses back into balance. The first evening habit is slow waking, where stillness changes into alertness, one tiny movement at a time. A nose twitches before the paws move, because scent is often the hamster's earliest guide to change. Its whiskers test the air, reading vibrations and distance long before the body fully leaves the nest. Those tiny whiskers are not decoration. They help map edges, openings, and nearby objects in low light. The hamster lifts its head carefully, pausing as if the darkness itself must first be understood. This pause is not laziness at all, but a safety check built from generations of prey instinct. Yeah, in the wild, careless waking could expose a small animal before it has even found its footing. Even inside a safe home, that inherited caution still shapes the first seconds of evening. Once the air feels familiar, the hamster stretches its back and lengthens its body with delicate control. Stretching helps loosen muscles after hours curled inside warm bedding, hidden from noise and bright disturbance. Then the front paws rise to the face, beginning the grooming ritual that often starts the night. It rubs across the eyes, nose, and cheeks, with fast practice strokes that look almost meditative. Grooming clears away sleep, but it also restores the coat that insulates and protects sensitive skin. A clean coat carries scent more clearly, and scent is one of the hamster's strongest tools. Next, the hamster licks its paws again and smooths the fur around its ears and neck. Each repeated motion may seem small to us, yet it organizes the body for confident movement. Grooming also lowers tension, turning drowsy uncertainty into calm readiness before the night becomes active. That is why this quiet routine often looks soothing instead of hurried or frantic. The hamster shifts its weight, cleaning the sides of its body with precise little bends. Then it reaches the belly, using tiny paws and tongue to neaten the fur underneath. Even this hidden area matters, because comfort depends on the whole body feeling orderly and familiar. When animals repeat grooming at key times, they are often resetting themselves emotionally as well as physically. A hamster cannot tell us it feels ready, but this ritual is one clear way it shows it. By the time the coat is tidy, the posture has changed from curled softness to awake intention. Its eyes appear brighter, its ears sit higher, and its nose begins testing the room again. Now the hamster leaves the nest entrance, but it does not rush straight into activity. It steps out in short, measured bursts, checking textures underfoot and scents along the bedding. This slow emergence helps connect the safe nest with the larger space beyond it. To us, the evening has barely started. To the hamster, orientation is already serious work. Habit 1 is really about restoring the self before anything else can happen safely. A well-groomed hamster moves with more confidence because the body feels predictable again in the dark. Only after that careful waking does the second evening habit begin to take over. The second evening habit is foraging, the instinctive search for food, fragments, scents, and possible future supplies. Even in a home where meals arrive reliably, the hamster still behaves like tomorrow must be prepared tonight. That is not greed, It is ancient insurance carried inside a very small body. In nature, food can appear unevenly, so collecting whenever possible improves the chance of surviving leaner hours. The hamster lowers its nose to the substrate and follows invisible trails across familiar ground. Every corner becomes a question. Is there something edible here or something worth carrying away? It pauses beside the bowl, but even this obvious food source is approached with investigative care. Hamsters often sniff first, sort second, and only then decide what belongs in the cheek pouches. Those famous cheek pouches are not simple pockets. They are expandable tools for efficient transport. With quick jaw movements, the hamster tucks dry pieces inward until its face appears slightly fuller. To human eyes, that bulging look can seem funny, yet it is brilliantly practical behavior. Carrying several pieces at once reduces exposure, saving time outside safer shelter areas. The hamster chooses, stuffs, pauses, and listens, as though every trip should waste no movement. Then it turns away from the bowl, already planning where those gathered pieces should go. Many owners expect food to be eaten immediately, but hamsters often prefer storing before dining. Hoarding is a normal strategy because possession feels safer once resources are moved under personal control. Watch closely. And the hamster becomes less like a pet waiting for snacks and more like a tiny quartermaster. It slips toward the tunnel with packed cheeks, keeping the heaviest treasure close to the ground. This low posture helps the hamster move efficiently while protecting its balance and field awareness. Inside the tunnel, shadows make the path feel more sheltered, even in a secure enclosure. The hamster reaches a chosen corner and begins unloading each piece with quick, neat head movements. Seeds, pellets, and dried bits are placed together like a private reserve hidden from open view. What seems messy to us often follows the hamster's own sense of order and control. A stash is not random clutter. It is a map of safety written in edible form. After unloading, the hamster often returns to search again, while repeating the pattern with surprising dedication. These repeated trips are another sign that instinct values abundance more than immediate satisfaction. Sometimes it samples one piece briefly, almost as if testing quality before continuing the mission. Then the cheeks fill once more, and another transport run begins across the bedding. With every trip, the hamster rehearses routes between food, cover, and nest. That rehearsal matters, because movement patterns help create a dependable internal map of home territory. The hamster may even stop midway to stand upright and scan the air. This upright pose is not just curiosity. It expands scenting and helps evaluate distant changes. If the room remains calm, the foraging pattern resumes with renewed confidence. By now, the stash grows larger, and the hamster's behavior becomes even more purposeful. Gathering enough does more than prepare the stomach. It calms the nervous system. When resources feel secure, a prey animal can spend less energy worrying about scarcity. That emotional relief is easy to miss because it hides inside such tiny motions. Yet every stored piece says the same quiet thing: tonight I have enough within reach. For a hamster, that feeling can be as important as the food itself. Once supplies are secured, the third evening habit begins to unfold through movement, mapping, and nest care. The third evening habit is active patrol, where running, exploring, and rearranging space strengthen the hamster's sense of control. A hamster is built to cover ground at night, even when that ground is only an enclosure. So after grooming and gathering, the movement becomes the body's way of completing the evening cycle. The wheel often receives that energy first, because it offers long, smooth motion without interruption. The hamster steps in, tests the surface, and begins with a few deliberate turns. Then pace builds naturally until the wheel hums with the rhythm of light, rapid feet. This running is not mindless excess. It answers a biological need for distance and repetition. In the wild, hamsters may travel far while foraging, navigating darkness through scent, memory, and caution. The wheel cannot replace a wilderness path, but it can satisfy part of that movement drive. As the hamster runs, its posture becomes streamlined, balanced, and almost effortlessly committed. There is a visible release in this motion, as though stored energy is finally finding its shape. After several rounds, the hamster slows and steps off, breathing softly through a twitching nose. But the evening patrol is not over, because running is only one part of checking territory. Next comes exploration around the enclosure edges, where scent and touch confirm that everything remains familiar. Hamsters often travel along boundaries because edges provide information and a sense of cover. The little body follows the glass wall, whiskers brushing space like careful antennae. At the tunnel entrance, it pauses, sniffs, and enters with purposeful confidence. It emerges near the nest area and begins nudging bedding with short, determined pushes. This rearranging behavior may look fussy, but it is deeply practical and emotionally meaningful. Nest maintenance lets the hamster improve warmth, concealment, and the feeling of a controlled refuge. Each mouthful of paper bedding is carried, dropped, and tucked into a preferred shape. The hamster turns in place, pressing the nest into a curve that fits its body. A well-shaped sleeping chamber reduces vulnerability by making rest feel enclosed and predictable. Even captive hamsters keep this habit because security is felt through structure, not just external safety. Sometimes the hamster returns to the stash area and moves a few pieces closer to the nest. This small adjustment links food and shelter, making the nighttime base more efficient to use. Then it circles once more, checking corners as if reading a familiar story for missing pages. Repetition is comforting here because known routes reduce uncertainty in a sensitive animal. We may call it routine, but to the hamster, it is intelligent environmental maintenance. By running, exploring, and nest shaping, it turns a habitat into personal territory. Territory is not about dominance alone, it is also about knowing where comfort can be recovered. That is why an evening hamster often seems busiest right before settling into smoother rhythms. The busy phase is the building phase, where order is recreated after daytime stillness. Once this patrol is complete, the hamster can relax more deeply because the world feels organized again. So the 3 evening habits are not random quirks, but a sequence of preparation, provision, and reassurance. First, the hamster wakes and grooms, restoring its body and senses after hidden daytime rest. Then it forages and stores, turning available food into a promise that later hunger can be answered. Finally, it runs, maps, and shapes the nest, but proving that movement and shelter still belong together. When people understand this sequence, a hamster stops looking erratic and starts looking beautifully intentional. The tiny face at the glass is not performing, it is following an ancient nighttime logic. That is why the quietest evening routines can reveal the deepest truths about a small animal's heart. Behind every twitch, pouch, and paw stroke is a creature trying to feel safe enough to rest again. And maybe that is the tenderness of watching a hamster at night. Its whole world is built from care.